All right. Welcome in, everyone. Ready for another deep dive?
Absolutely, let's do it.
Today, we're taking a crack at something every parent out there is dying to know:
Yeah.
how to talk to kids. And not just, talk, but actually get through.
Right. And even more, how to have those heart-to-heart chats without the drama, the meltdowns, the whole 9 yards.
And you know what's great? It seems like you, our listeners, you totally get it. You're not trying to become a child psychologist overnight.
Yeah.
You're just looking for those practical tips and tricks.
And isn't that the dream?
The holy grail of parenting. And speaking of decoding secrets, one thing that popped out from your notes was active listening.
Active listening. That's huge GE. It's like the cornerstone of meaningful communication, wouldn't you say?
Totally. But what is it about active listening that resonated so much with you? Beyond just the basic idea.
Well, it's about really, truly hearing your child, not just waiting for your turn to speak.
So it's not just about, like, being quiet while they're talking.
Exactly. It's about putting aside your own thoughts and really trying to understand their perspective. It's about making them feel seen and heard. Think about a time when someone really listened to you without judgment, without trying to fix anything. How did that make you feel?
Oh, incredible. Like I could conquer the world, or at least tackle that messy playroom with a little more grace.
Precisely. And that's the feeling we want our kids to have, right?
100%. And sometimes, let's be honest, the things they want to talk about, well, they might not seem like a big deal to us.
Oh, tell me about it. My daughter can talk for ages about the adventures of her stuffed unicorn.
Right. Like it's all about that epic playground squabble over the red shovel, and you're thinking, really, the red shovel. But to them, it's a big deal.
Their whole world. It's their version of a boardroom showdown or a political debate. And we want to show them that their world, their experiences matter.
So how do we move past the eye rolls and really get those little voices heard?
Open-ended questions, my friend. That's the ticket.
Okay, so tell me more about open-ended questions. What's the magic there?
Well, think of it this way. Instead of asking, did you have a good day at school? Which usually gets you a yeah or a shrug.
Or that dreaded one-word answer, fine.
Exactly. You ask something like, what was the most interesting thing you learned today? Or who made you laugh at school today? Suddenly they're thinking, they're engaged, and you're opening the door to a whole world of conversation.
You're basically turning those grunts and shrugs into TED Talks.
Right. You're inviting them to tell their story, to share their perspective. And who knows what fascinating insights you might uncover. Remember that time I asked my son what made him laugh at school? Turns out their class pet hamster escaped and led them all on a merry chase.
Oh, I bet. Now, I have to ask, and this is a big one, patience. We all struggle with it, especially when you're trying to wrangle everyone out the door in the morning. But how crucial is patience in this whole talking to kids thing?
It's not just crucial, it's essential. Think of it this way. We expect our kids to listen to us patiently, right? Even when we're going on about boring, grown-up things. Well, we need to model that same respect for their thoughts and feelings.
Even when those thoughts are about, like, which cartoon character would win in a fight?
Especially then. It might seem silly to us, but those conversations help them develop their imaginations, their critical thinking skills. Who knows? Maybe that debate about cartoon characters will spark a lifelong interest in animation or storytelling.
So we're actively listening, we're asking open-ended questions, we're practicing the art of patience. What else?
Let's talk about language. And I'm not just talking about using potty words or big boy words. I'm talking about the overall tone and approach we use when communicating with our children.
Because let's be honest, sometimes our parent voice can come out a little harsher than we intend.
Absolutely. It's like our inner drill sergeant takes over. But think about how you respond when someone speaks to you harshly. Do you feel open and receptive? Or do you want to shut down or argue?
Yeah, no, totally get it.
So instead of saying, don't leave your toys all over the living room,
Yeah.
which immediately puts everyone on the defensive.
Right, because it's like, we're not leaving them there, they live there now.
Exactly. Try something like, hey, let's work together to tidy up the living room so we have plenty of space for family movie night. It's still setting a boundary, but it's doing it in a way that's positive, collaborative, and, dare I say, fun.
Okay, I love that. It's like we're turning chore time into team building time. All right, last but not least, you highlighted a big one, empathy. And I feel like this is where the real magic happens, right?
Absolutely. Empathy is the secret sauce. It's about connecting with your child on an emotional level, acknowledging their feelings, even if you don't agree with their actions. It's about saying, I understand you're feeling frustrated that you can't have another cookie, or it seems like you're feeling sad that your friend can't come over today.
It's so powerful because it shows them, hey, I get it. I see you. I'm here for you.
Exactly. And that feeling of being seen and heard, that's what builds trust, connection, and ultimately stronger relationships.
Wow. So we've covered a lot of ground today. We talked about the power of active listening, the magic of open-ended questions, the importance of patience and positive language, and of course, the secret weapon, empathy. But here's the real question. How do we actually put all this into practice? Because let's be real, parenting is messy, and sometimes we forget these things.
We're all human. We're all learning as we go. But here's something to think about. Next time you have an interaction with your child that leaves you feeling, well, let's just say less than stellar, take a moment to reflect. How could you have applied one of these communication tools to create a different outcome?
I love that. It's like they say, the best time to improve communication was yesterday, but the second best time is now. So there you have it, folks. Your guide to cracking the code of communication with kids. Not always easy, but it's always worth the effort.